Hello, 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 and welcome to another interesting episode of the newspaper review here on TAF TV for today, the 9th day of December 2022. My name is Cyril Aloysius, and I'm super excited to be on your screens once again. Mr. Victor Siokul is the person once again to do justice with me to the papers here for today.
Thank you, sir.
And first, we'll be looking at the Vanguard. But before we go straight into the Vanguard, Mr. Victor, it is the Christmas season. How do you feel once again to, should I say, make it to another end of the year?
I feel blessed.
Okay.
I feel blessed. Yeah, some persons might say it's been a challenging year, but I feel so blessed because, man, we are alive, we are strong.
It's been a
we
rough ride,
but we
but
faced the challenge, and look at we are in December.
Yes,
and
so
we have a lot to also celebrate this December, and I give God the thank. The
I
praise,
mean,
okay?
even if times are quite rough now, and financially, a lot of persons are really not stable, but we still give God all the glory. Yes, for it's not easy. A lot of persons actually didn't make it this far, but here we are once again, about to, should I say Happy New Year next month. So, yes, Happy New Year in advance to those of you who are watching us right now. And we'll be going straight to the Vanguard newspaper, where there are some interesting headlines on page 8. This one says, Petrol, DSS orders dealers to restore supply in 48 hours. Petrol, DSS orders dealers to restore supply in 48 hours. That's on page 8 of the Vanguard. On page 7, on page 29, I beg your pardon, we have Atiku versus G5. Atiku versus G5. Plots, counter plots, worsens PDP's crisis. Atiku versus G5, plots, counter plots, worsen PDP's crisis. Okay, that's on page 29 of the Vanguard. On page 8, we have Boko Haram insurgency, handiwork of foreign elements, according to Shehu of Borno. Boko Haram insurgency, handiwork of foreign elements. Shehu of Borno, that's on page 8 of the Vanguard. On page 7 of the Vanguard, we have why Nigeria is best placed to invest in Africa. According to Osibanjo on page 7, why Nigeria is best placed to invest in Africa. Osibanjo said on page 7. On page 20 of the Vanguard, why we stopped mining in Zamfara, according to federal government. Why we stopped mining in Zamfara, according to federal government, on page 20 of the Vanguard. On page 6, we have Okada ban. FCT task force crushes 432 motorcycles. Okada ban. FCT task force crushes 432 motorcycles. Wow. That's on page 6 of the Vanguard. More interesting headlines in the Vanguard says, this one on page 33, CBN may tweak new cash withdrawal limits, says Emefiele. CBN may tweak new cash withdrawal limits, says Emefiele on page 33. On page 13, we have second Niger bridge will be open to traffic for 30 days. Second Niger bridge will be open to traffic for 30 days. That's Fashola saying on page 13. On page 13 again, we have Igbo elders flay Simon Ekpa. Okay, Igbo elders flay Simon Ekpa. Say 5-day sit-at-home order must not stand. That's on page 13. Igbo elders flay Simon Ekpa. Say 5-day sit-at-home order must not stand. Okay, lastly, in the Vanguard for today, we have on page 15, how I was dehumanized for 20 years on death row. 53-year-old businessman convicted for armed robbery but met real culprits in prison. Wow, that's a sad one there on page 15 of the Vanguard. You want details of these headlines you heard, get a copy of the Vanguard for yourself. Mr. Victor, which of these headlines would you like to react to?
Okay, I would love to talk about the DSS giving their orders to petroleum marketers to supply petrol in 2 days. That's 48 hours. But before I go into that, I just want to touch a bit about the FCT smashing or destroying 400 and what?
432 motorcycles.
432 motorcycles. I think we've come to the time and age that we should not just because of, will I say, anger or just trying to enforce
certain laws
and rules, and you just don't want to will I say, pull out some profit, make profit out of it. Man, Nigeria needs revenue for crying out loud. Okay, the monies that
instead of crushing those motorcycles,
there are other ways
to go about it.
Yes, like what? Get men, as a mobilized men, okay, to go and dismantle those bikes. Okay. You put security around them, make sure that they dismantle all these bikes. So by the time they dismantle them, you package them and sell them outside the country. Okay. And you make money. So, but the issue now is, one might say, okay, corruption has eaten deeply into our system, that the powers that be that will handle this project might now siphon the money that is being recovered from the operation. Are you getting me? Yeah. We should stop these, you just pack things together and you just smash them together. It doesn't make sense for me.
That's a lot of money.
In fact, those bikes, if you check, it will solve one issue or the other. Providing school equipment, feeding the poor, a whole lot, fixed roads. See, we need these resources.
No doubt.
Okay.
No doubt.
So, well, that aside, the DSS. The DSS has come with their powers that, okay, they even stated it out there that, see, because person were complaining that, come to think of it, the DSS, you don't have the power to enforce people to go and the enforce marketers to go and start selling petroleum product or start delivering petroleum product. But they came from the angle that, see, that when it comes to economic sabotage, that the DSS have their powers, okay, to wade in. Economic sabotage that will cause harm to the Nigerian populace, that will cause harm to our national unity. Okay. That's what they stated. But if you also think of it, I think it is also right, because when you check the details of the information that we have at hand, it doesn't make sense that the NNPC has come out to say they have 1.9 billion barrels of petrol and it is just packed. Reason because that the marketers are not comfortable with the pricing and all that. But I also want to talk to DSS to tell them, see, this is not just about enforcing these people, pushing them to go and sell out their products. You have to also check. They are running a business. Okay. They need to also make profits.
So if it's not good for them, then how do they earn from it? How do they make a living from it?
I ask. So we have a 165 naira per liter. It's our will I say the uniform price to sell the products. But this cannot work anymore. It's not sustainable. Okay. Now, there are still more like, we call it rumors hanging up and down that, okay, they should sell 195. Go to NNPC. The NNPC that are saying that they have 1.9 billion barrels do not have the product. So, I think it's not just about mere words, pushing out the words to tell, okay, the instructions to tell marketers, oh, go and sell, or we'll hit hard on you. People also need to make business. They need to make profit out of this. Okay?
Yes.
So they should just, it's not just about, well, this is also not new when powers that be will give this instruction. Mind you, some months back, the Senate House came out to say that they would impeach the president. Remember, since then, nothing has happened. So it's not just about mere words.
White elephant promises.
It's not just about that. For me, there is more to this. Even from the report, it was not even, will I say, in detail. It was not in detail to tell us what these guys really discussed, okay? But let's look at it. Today is Friday. By Monday, I bet you, Mr. Siri, by Monday, this will not happen. It does not hold water as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, so let's move on now to the Daily Sun, where we have some more interesting headlines. On page 6, this one says, military resisting pressure to compromise election, according to CDS. Military resisting pressure to compromise election, CDS. Buhari vows to defend democracy in Africa. That's on page 6. On page 26, we have Rivers government alleges plot to blackmail Wike over G5 demands. Rivers government alleges plot to blackmail Wike over G5 demands. That's on page 26. On page 26 as well, we have Plateau workers declare 5-day warning strike over salaries. and the other starts on page 26 again. On page 6, we have 2023. PDP owns Imo. Will sweep polls, according to Ihedioha. Atiku will sweep polls in Abia campaign, according to campaign coordinator. That's on page 6 of the Daily Sun. On page 6 again, we have Nigeria, best place to invest in Africa. Osibanjo meets with Vietnam's president. Nigeria, best place to invest in Africa. Osibanjo meets with Vietnam's president. On page 6 of Daily Sun. On page 28, we have 11 foreign firms bid for Ajaokuta Steel. 11 foreign firms bid for Ajaokuta Steel. FG begins payment of $496 million judgment settlement. Okay, that's on page 28. On page 26, we have 2023. Thuggery, fake news threat to elections. Thuggery, fake news threat to elections, according to REC on page 26. On page 26, again, we have reps direct suspension of new cash withdrawal limit policy. Summon Emefiele. Reps direct suspension of new cash withdrawal limit policy. Summon Emefiele. Banks, depositors clash over 20,000 naira limit. Naira redesign. 1 trillion naira mopped up, says a CBN governor. Okay, that's on page 26. And on page 4, we have troops kill 9 bandits. Rescue women, children in Kaduna. Troops kill 9 bandits. Rescue women, children in Kaduna. Okay, that good news is on page 4. Details are good news on page 4 of Daily Sun. On page 2, lastly on page 2, we have DSS gives oil marketers, dealers 48 hours to end scarcity. Okay, we already saw this in the previous paper we just read. Thank you so much. Mr. Victor, which of these headlines would you like to react to?
Okay, I think we should talk about the CBN policy. Okay, so the House of Representatives came out yesterday to say, see, you have to suspend this, okay, and they need to go and talk about how they can make it better for Nigerians. So, but my own 2 cents here is that why don't you allow the policy to just run, okay? Give it some time, because we cannot also hide from the fact that making changes can be very difficult, okay? You just think about yourself. I think about myself too. Sometimes when you just want to make a radical change, it costs for a lot. It doesn't come so easy. So that is what is happening now. The profit and the merit of what we are trying to do right now is so much, okay, against what we might just lose. Come to think of it, this the policy of changing the naira has also brought back some monies to the CBN, has brought money back in circulation. Okay. Unfortunately, yeah, you might be like, we are not even touching the money. But see, the major thing here.
That's the truth.
The major thing here is
have you touched it, Mr. Victor?
I know we have not touched it, okay? But the major thing here is that it will also help inflation. If these monies keep rolling, see, if this cycle is being established, that our monies are in the system, come to think of it, it will help the economy in general, okay? So, I understand the House of Rep, they might just be for the people, in quotes, okay? But right now, come to think of it, the advantages, like you asked me how. When it comes to kidnappers, yes, you might just be like, it will make life difficult for kidnappers, okay? Handling of carrying 10 million naira in bags, that will not work any longer. Then you ask, okay, what other avenue might they use? They might be forcing people into changing to USD. But at the end of the day, we are now moving to a cashless society, okay?
Slowly.
Which will make things difficult for shady business persons, like bandits, like kidnappers. Well, that's no business, but yeah, people into different kinds of crime, okay? Now, my challenge is now about the rural areas of the country. Mind you, over 50% of Nigerians are in the rural region.
Okay.
So how do you not take care of them? Because you might come out to say, okay, we have the physical infrastructure in towns, in not just in urban areas, okay? Like we have the internet, we have different kinds of forms of exchanging monies. Okay, but now we also need to note that even in our villages, they are using the USSDs. So the star 119, star 77Ds and all that, they have been using that avenue. Why don't we just test the waters? And thank God the CBN,
and see how it goes.
Yes, thank God the CBN has said, okay, this policy, we are not trying to be very, very rigid. We're not going to be very rigid. We need to review and adjust things with time. We have the e-Naira, mind you. We have the flutter wave, the other payment, avenue. I don't want to start doing marketing for these companies, okay? But see, we have avenues that people can. In fact, Nigerians right now, in many cases, we buy data through our banks. We buy, come to think of DSTV. Oh, come on. We do many things right now through our banks. NEPA bill. Oh, come on. Let me not just dwell on so much on that. But see, it will not be easy. Changes come and they don't come easy. But is it important? It is really, really important. Look at 1 trillion has been brought into the economy against when we have about 3.7 trillion naira that has been that we've been like, oh, come on, it is not circulating. But now we have 1 trillion in, and that's to tell you that, see, this policy is working. And I pray that in the next coming months, January the 9th is almost here, and I believe that from now till then, Nigerians will feel the need of this CBN policy. But another part, lastly, another part I want the CBN to go after is education. The CBN, they are supposed to go to rural communities and educate them on different avenues. Many people out there still do not know about the e-Naira. Many people out there don't know different channels to transact Naira. But let's see how it goes.
All right, we'll go on a quick break, and when we return, more newspaper headlines coming your way. Please stay tuned.
Now that you have registered for your PVC, it doesn't stop there. Ensure you pick up your PVC. Be alert. Join many Nigerians to vote credible leaders that will change the tide of this nation. Do not sell your vote. Remember, this is our future. Your vote is your voice.
This message is proudly brought to you by THAV Media Limited.
Still the newspaper review here on THAV TV, and you're welcome back from that short break. Taking you straight now to our last paper for the day, which is The Guardian. We have some interesting headlines here on page 3. This one says, Osinbajo meets Vietnam's president. Harps on why Nigeria is best placed to invest in Africa. Osinbajo meets Vietnam's president. Harps on why Nigeria is best placed to invest in Africa. Okay. On page 3 again, we have don't buy meter, transformer, wires, NERC tells electricity consumers. It says don't buy meter, transformer, wires, NERC tells electricity consumers. That's on page 3. On page 28, we have I won't leave Atiku. I won't leave Atiku. Mieba insists as hoodlums attack house, destroy cars and others. I won't leave Atiku. Mieba insists as hoodlums attack house, destroy cars and others. That's on page 28. On page 2, lastly, in The Guardian for today, on page 2, we have DSS gives NNPC, Hype Man, Nopeng, others 48 hours to end fuel scarcity. Okay, that's on page 2 of The Guardian newspaper. Okay, that's the much we can take in The Guardian for today. Mr. Victor, which of these headlines interest you?
Okay, I think we'll go a bit political right now. So Lee Mieba is a former senator, okay, of Rivers State, okay, and from the Ogoni extraction of the state, okay. Now, what happened? Because he supports Atiku, there are some will I say, reports saying that the Wike's camp is attacking him.
Okay, so how sure are we right now, Mr. Victor, that it is as a result of his support of Atiku that he's been attacked at the moment? Is it not possible that this attack right now could be a mere coincidence?
Okay, now, before now, if you had noticed, some of Atiku's men were attacked in Echie, in Omuma.
Okay.
Okay. and they were really brutalized. That's one. There are still strong reports that the top politicians that are supporting Atiku, that their businesses were attacked, especially the ones that had fuel stations around the Eagle Island zones. Their fuel stations were sealed off. Okay. Then just recently, EUI Event Center, an event center in Port Harcourt, one of the biggest, if not the biggest event center in Port Harcourt, was sealed off just after some Atiku supporters had their meeting or had their event at that facility. So, but on that side of the EUI is quite complicated because the Rivers State government came out with a report that the reason why they shut down the event center was because of they couldn't control their crowd, their traffic and their crowd. Okay. But the Atiku side came out to say, see, this happened because they held an event there. That aside. Just days after sealing off the EUI center, Lee Meiba's house, which is just by the, what's the name? Professor Abowe Street, which is just less than 2 kilometers from the EUI event center, was attacked.
Okay.
Now,
so you're trying to relate that attack at Meiba's house to the rest attack that has been happening to other persons or things associated with
these are just trails. I am not saying that the Wike's camp attacked anybody.
Okay.
Or income.
So you are saying, if I get you correctly, that because of all these examples you give, that it is possible that the attack on Meiba's house could be as a result of his association.
It could still be. We cannot also hide the fact that, see, this is the political season. Nigeria is no sense with political violence. We cannot shy away from that.
It's not a new thing.
Yes, even sometimes our leaders, our core leaders, do not want it to happen. But you see, the supporters can just carry the whole thing on their heads. Reason, because they want to show their face, they want to show their superiority, they want their leaders to see that they are working. It happens, my brother. So in this case,
let's say eye service.
Eye service.
Okay.
So in this case, they came to Lee Meiba's house. Okay, let me just not even politicize it, but we know that Lee Meiba is a strong supporter of Atiku. In fact, if I bring the news a bit backward, you find out that Lee Meiba wanted even to become the governor of the state. And you know what happened during the PDP Guba primaries? That some persons were not happy with Wike because they felt that Wike handpicked similarly Fubara against others. Are you getting that? So this is a chain of trade. These are just still trails. Okay, I can't say that they are exact. No.
It could even happen that these politicians originally don't even have such intentions in their minds to attack one another physically. But like you said, you know, sometimes these supporters just overreact to things. They just carry it on their head and then decide to just do eye service so that their leaders will see that I'm working, and then probably call you for promotion or employment and stuff like that, just to gain favor. Most times.
But Mr. Siri, I'll be very, very shocked that if these miscreants are not caught. Reason, this happened in GRA. Now, they did not cover their faces with the information we got.
Wow.
So, you cannot tell me that
there are no security cameras.
There are no security cameras on that. It's a sophisticated street.
Yes.
You have the Genesis Hotel there.
Okay.
You have Professor Abue's house there.
Okay.
You have hotels, Springs of Hotels
and
there. You have the Mandela Car Wash there.
And when you check the house of the personality that was attacked, there is no way you tell me that there is no security cameras there.
Yes, but maybe, just maybe they must have. Maybe they did some things around there. But I'm just talking even about the scene, the area of attack. They have plenty cameras there. You can't tell me that you cannot pinpoint. The police will not have facts or will I say proofs? Well, like I said, the police should have proofs, okay? You have different avenues to investigate this matter.
Definitely.
It is not a rural place. Even if it's a rural place, this is a very high place area in town. I'm even very surprised that the police that are not so far from that area couldn't find their way in. Well, that's to also tell you that we have some infrastructural issues around, or security infrastructure issue around us. So, but like I said, the police should just do something about this. It will just be shameful of them. Yeah, I need to use the word shameful of them, that they cannot come up with the names of these persons that attacked the house of Lee May. And come to think of it, from Lee May's point, he said that his domestic staff and his brother were attacked.
Wow.
They were blooded. Yeah.
Wow.
So, and they were even mentioned from his own point that they were even mentioned, where is he? Where is Lee May? Just one bullet will settle this matter.
Wow.
That is what he said, okay? That is what he said. But thank God no life was lost, but we need to find these people and put them where they belong. Wow. We need to, yes.
Sad one there, sad news there, Mr. Victor. Thank you so much for your thoughts in the papers today. I really do appreciate, and I appreciate you, my ever faithful viewers who have been faithful with us, watching us up until this time. We say thank you. I say thank you because without you, we would not be here. But unfortunately, this is the end of the road for us. My name is Cyril Aloysius, and thank you so much for sticking with us. Please do also subscribe to this channel if you haven't, and turn on your notification bell so you get notified whenever we come online, and of course drop our new videos. And do also check us out on our different social media platforms. On YouTube, we are TAF TV. On Instagram, we are TAF TV_NG. On Facebook, we're TAF TV. And on Twitter, we're TAF TV. My name is Cyril Aloysius once again. And it's a bye for now until I come your way again next time. Do enjoy the rest of your day.